Well, I was contacted by members of our Board of Trustees of Institutions of Higher Learning by the Commissioner and asked that if the need should arise for an interim president, would I be willing to accept that call? And I said that I would. And then they decided to do that, and they gave me a call and said, you'll start after the stroke of midnight on July the 15th, and here I am on Monday morning. I've got a long history with Southern Miss and a very deep affinity for it. So I was honored and humbled to be asked to serve. It's not something I needed for me, but if there's a need for this university and I can help us kind of energize the place and get some positive change moving and be ready for the next full-time president, I was happy to serve. So a sense of service to the institution that I love. Hopefully a lot, right? You know, I've worked here as an administrator for over 40 years. I was Dean of Students through the mid-'80s. I was Vice President for Student Affairs for over 21 years, and I served under 5 different university presidents. So I got to see a lot in terms of different ways to be a president of the institution. And because of that, I've got a really deep institutional knowledge of Southern Miss. So I don't have to, find the buildings. We can get to work quickly on a few priorities that I've identified. So it helps a lot, that institutional knowledge. Yes, the institution, as you're aware, as a student that's been here while I wasn't, has very solid COVID protocols. My highest hope is that we don't have to alter face-to-face delivery and campus life. I will certainly listen to our medical experts, and the health and welfare of our students, faculty, and staff will come first. But I'm going to do all in my power to keep this place open and blowing and going so that you can have the kind of student experience that you deserve. Well, I don't think any president should come in and start making wholesale changes. I will probably redefine reporting lines for some key folks so that I can lend my expertise in the areas where I have the most. But let me just tell you what my priorities will be. How about that? I think that the number one thing that I can impact in a semester or a year is student recruitment. Southern Miss is too great a place with too much capacity not to be bursting at the seams with students. It's been a tough time. COVID affected it. There are not as many kids being born and going through high school, but those are all excuses. I think 2 of the greatest wastes of human energy are blaming and justifying. So without regard to that, I'm going to focus my highest energy on supporting student recruitment. So you're going to see me out in high schools and communities and talking to prospective community college transfers and high school seniors and their families, and really investing in marketing the university, in scholarships for students. So that's going to be my highest priority. Second is just in general, Southern Miss has too much good news to be hidden under a rock. So I'm going to be out sort of spreading the gospel about how great this place is, making sure that we get everybody back under the tent. Our faithful, our alums who have strayed. I'll be doing a lot of external speaking and interacting with folks to kind of, get us energized and get us ready. Finally, I obviously will work with our athletics staff on the change to the Sun Belt Conference, and we've got a University Capital campaign with a goal of $150 million. That's the biggest goal we've ever had. And we're already at $113 million. And I hope that by my brief time, by the time I am done, that we have exceeded that goal of $150 million. So those are my priorities. Yeah, we've got a brand new leader in that area that's going to be great. And so I'm going to work with that leadership team in terms of developing the whole strategy around it. being visible, being present is critical. But you've got to work with students from the first time you meet them, the first time they respond to you, all the way down until you have them admitted. They come to summer orientation and they walk through those doors in the fall. So a lot of follow-up and what we call funnel management. Not just going out and shaking the pom-pom, but continuing to work with students and families in strategic ways from first encounter to a happy enrolled freshman or transfer student. There have been retention efforts happening at Southern Miss for many years, and Dr. Amy Chastain, who's a senior associate provost, does a great job of that, has some impressive results. And so we have student retention efforts for first-generation students, for freshman to sophomore, which is a critical time, for sophomore to junior, and for new transfer students. So we're doing some great work there. Those numbers look good, and we can always do more. Southern Miss to the top.